Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Hunter Smith, who will fight on Contender Series September 1st. Hello, Hunter. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm good, and thank you for taking the invitation. And let's start from this because obviously it will be like the biggest fight of your career, a really big opportunity. But when did you find out about this fight?
I found out about the fight. We're 8 weeks out from it right now. 11, so about 3 weeks ago. Um, I switched my management team that I had been with for years. I switched to Sucker Punch Management. And the day after switching to them, they gave me the call. They let me know that I had planned to be on, and so it kind of just life started fast tracking right after that. Man, it's been kind of crazy, man. I can't even lie.
And of course, Contender Series is a big chance, but in the end, sometimes it's really hard to get on this kind of show because there are a lot of fighters, a lot of like guys who just want to be there. And were you maybe afraid that in this season there will be like no place for you?
Yeah, I mean, no, I kind of had figured from my recent wins and like the fights that I was taking in the last, my last 3 or 4 regional fights, they were all tough fights. I was trying to, show everyone that I was down to fight the best outside of the UFC. I was down to test my skill set against the best because I do feel like I belong. So yeah, I was surprised to get the call about the Contender Series, but I'm not surprised about, me being and belonging in there. I do believe I belong with the best in the world, and it's just the first chance for me to show it.
And I'm guessing that when you found out about it, it was like big motivation for you that because it's just in the end, it's just one fight. On the regional scene, you can have a long winning streak, and in the end, the UFC will not have you there. And right now, you know that you have just one fight to be in the UFC.
One more, man. One more, and I'm there. The dream is a reality, and one more. But I understand that this one more is the biggest test in my career. Adam Livingston is the opponent, and he's a dog, man. I like his style. I think it's my style and his style is going to bring out a hell of a fight, and I'm just excited. Like I'm excited for the opportunity of that as well. Not only am I excited the opportunity to get to fight on a show that I grew up watching, but I'm getting an opportunity to fight another style that matches well with mine. So like it's a blessing, and I'm truly blessed to be here.
Yes, and you have six wins by knockouts, and he has, I believe, like 5 wins by knockout. So it's hard to believe that it will be not like interesting fight.
That's right, man. That's right. We're gonna bring it, man. We're gonna bring the fire, and hopefully, we go out there and we both put it all on the line trying to earn that contract.
And in this training camp, did you do anything like different from your previous fights?
So the last couple of training camps have been pretty dialed. It's just been trial and error my whole career with training camps. Just trying to figure out what's the best for me. I kind of operate differently than most fighters. I was a really great athlete before I was into fighting, so just kind of bringing over some of the old workouts or some of the old techniques that I used to do as an athlete over to this camp. That's kind of been new. I've gotten hooked up with a new nutritionist, a new strength and conditioning coach. I'm traveling a lot more. I'm doing a lot of my camp in Las Vegas at Syndicate. Shout out to those guys. It's the gym of the year for a reason. Um, no place I'd rather be. But yeah, I think the only difference is, like I understand this is it. This is the chance that I've been fighting for years. So this camp I'm going all in on. You know what I mean? Money's a little tighter right now because I'm spending a little bit more trying to make sure I get everything that I need for it. So that's just kind of just like a price I'm willing to pay to, make it and make my dreams come true.
And actually, I saw on your Instagram the photo with Cody Steele, who is he was great prospect on the regional scene. Right now, he's a great prospect in the UFC. So in this team, probably there are a lot of great training partners that you definitely can
Absolutely.
can like learn from.
Absolutely. Cody's a stud, man. I mean, and honestly, like just Cody Steele's style in MMA is just like a beautiful style for the sport. I think his base, everything along, he's just man, that's just a peak style in my opinion for the sport. I think that Cody is a super exciting young lightweight, man, and I'm blessed to get to not only learn from him, but everybody else in that room. There's big names all through that room, and it's an honor for me just to go prepare with those guys and get the coaching from John Wood, who is the UFC Coach of the Year, reigning.
And obviously, you have a few good wins on your record, but I think that probably one of the biggest was your in your last fight because you have a chance to revenge your only loss. So if you can tell me how great feeling was that not only you won, but you won in like a really brutal fashion.
Oh man, it was sweet, definitely. It was sweet for the reasons that people like. I guess the main thing that I've been trying to get across to people is like the reason on why it was sweet. It wasn't because I had any personal vendetta against the guy who had beat me, or I wanted to beat him just because he beat me. It was really just so I could show personal growth. I wanted to show that no matter if he's gotten better since our last fight or not, I have gotten worlds better. And my goal was to show that, hey, this is the evolution of Hunter Smith as a fighter and as a person because that loss truly changed everything in my life. It made me take this game a lot more serious, even though I was taking it serious to begin with. It made me lock in even more, and it kind of you know forced me to become a better man and a better person. So yeah, it was a sweet feeling because I got to prove to everybody and myself that I have evolved and I have gotten a lot better since I lost to him 2 years ago.
And actually, this knockout was kind of like crazy. It was like a viral moment because when you see that the fighter is going like face first, you know that this is like a kind of serious thing. And of course, it's great that everything was okay after the fight. But in
Yeah.
the end, like the knockout itself was one of the probably one of the best on the regionals in that you can see.
Let's go, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, one thing that God blessed me with, man, is speed and power. And I can find my shots from anywhere in the cage. I can find my shots from anywhere in the exchange, anywhere in the exchange, in the scramble. I'm blessed with that ability. So a lot more people are going to be seeing a lot more of that from me in the UFC. I plan to carry the same excitement to the big show.
And you made your amateur debut in 2021, so like around 5 years ago. At that point, how much of the like full MMA training did you had?
So when I debuted in 2021, I had started training MMA and dabbling in MMA in high school around 2016. Um I was really focused on football. Like I said, I was a previous athlete. So MMA, I had a coach that just kind of put me in it to stay in shape, a football coach who was doing it on the side. So I dabbled in it and I've always been a fight fan. Like growing up, I've said this multiple times these last couple of weeks. I grew up a big fight fan. I remember watching the great fights personally as a child. So yeah, I dabbled in it, officially started like training in 2016. I took time off, like I guess 20 when I graduated in 2017, I stopped training from 2017 to COVID 2020. And by the time COVID rolled around, dude, I was 240 pounds. I was an electrician, working a normal job, 9 to 5, wasn't happy with my life. I knew I was a freak athlete and I knew I had more to give. So, so yeah, I kind of picked it back up around COVID, and everybody was sent home for COVID. No one really doing much, so that just was a extra bit of time for me to grind and kind of keep my nose down and just kind of get better behind the scenes. And that's exactly what I did. By 2021, I felt that I was ready to compete, and the rest is history, man. 5 years later.
So it's actually a kind of like cool story because your life could be like much different than there is now.
It absolutely could be, man. And I have a feeling that that's that's been such a small story as far as my perspective. Like, yeah, that's the old me. I was an electrician. I was 240 pounds, but I don't even think of that person anymore. But I do have a feeling through this whole process of everybody in the world getting to know Hunter, that's going to be a bigger deal than I had kind of thought it was going to be at first. But yeah, from nothing to something, man. I mean, God did that, man. I put my trust into my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and look what happened on the other side of it.
But also like 5 years from the amateur debut, and you had like few fights there to be on the like verge of going to the UFC. Also, I think that is kind of like quick one, and this probably mean that you are also like the quick learner. That when you are in the gym, you have this kind of like ability that you can learn quite quick.
Man, I can be stubborn. I could be hard-headed. I could be I'm not the easiest guy. I mean, knowing from myself, I've been coaching this last year a lot, coaching some young fighters. I now know in myself I'm not the quickest learner. In fact, the biggest thing about me is I just don't stop trying to learn. I take what my coaches tell me home. I film study. I take this game very serious. It takes up a lot of my life. Even if I'm not at the gym, I'm at home thinking about it. So I guess maybe the quick learner thing isn't me, but it definitely I'm gonna take it home and I'm gonna continue. So I'm a tireless worker, and I think that's what's put me in the position that I'm in and looking to reap the benefits that I sow.
So definitely also like important quality to like the thing to have to be like stubborn.
Yeah. I definitely can be hard headed, man. Like that was a big thing for me. Like the turn in my career with that loss was trusting other people. Like I only wanted to trust myself for so long, you know. Um, but when I was able to put my pride down and trust my coaches even more and really just give my whole career to them, and that's whenever I was able to turn the corner and become high level.
And from your experience, because of course you had a lot of experience on the amateur scene and also as the pro, what is the thing that you like in MMA the most and you don't like? So it can be like fighting related, training related, like everything about fighting. One the thing that you like and one that you really don't like.
Well, I hate to be cliche and I wish I could give a more original answer, but the biggest thing I hate in this sport is the weight cutting, obviously, and the dieting. I was 240 pounds at one point. It kind of speaks for itself. I'm a foodie. I like to eat, man. So during camp, that's the worst part, just having to go no snacks, go strict in my diet. The best part about fighting is I like to tell people that fighting is the most purest form of expression other than dancing or singing. You can't fake those things. You can't get on stage and become someone you're not in a fight. You can't fight better than you actually can fight. You can't dance better than it's going to show, you know? So it's a very honest form of expression. It's pure. It's natural. I love fighting. Everything else besides the cutting weight, I love about fighting, man. This is just, I was born for this. I truly believe that God built me, put me here to grow a platform throughout this sport in order to preach the word and to give, people closer to Him.
And about like weight cutting, when you have like normal job, so office job, it would be kind of crazy if someone would tell you that you have lose like 30 or 40 pounds. It's like one of the only like sports, of course, like wrestling and this kind of things. But like overall, when we are talking about like normal life, it's a very unusual thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely like I said, I'm a lifelong athlete and I had never done anything like that before, like it kind of helped me though with the weight cuts because I was 240 at one point and I lost all that weight to start training. Like I told myself I can't be at 205 or I'm 5'8" and a half. Like that would be tough. So I was like, I got to get down first before I can start cutting. So I went from 240 to 185 and then started cutting. So I kind of had the discipline and I learned a lot about my body in that time that I lost all that weight. So that has helped me a little bit, but still is the worst part about the sport by far.
And at one point of your career, you were scheduled to fight Melvin Guillard, who, of course, like was a UFC veteran, like super dangerous knockout artist. But in the end, the fight didn't happen. So, if you can tell me, did like the commission stop did this fight from happening?
No, Melvin actually hurt himself like 2 weeks before we were supposed to fight. He hurt his hand, but like it was a crazy thing, man. Like it all happened the way it was supposed to play out. Like I really wanted to fight Melvin. I told Melvin himself, like growing up, Melvin Guillard was before Poirier. Melvin was the Louisiana like guy for a while, you know what I mean? Like other than you had Tim Crater and all those guys, but Melvin was just so I resonated with Melvin. I liked his style, that athleticism, that power. And I remember watching him fight at a young age, and I told him that. So whenever they called me to fight him, I was like, absolutely, I would love to. It'd be an honor. Um, he hurt his hand and ended up couldn't fight, but he came and helped me in my camp for my next fight after him, and I was able to corner him in his retirement fight. So it all worked out. He ended up retiring in my hometown of Lake Charles. I think 2 or 3 months after we were scheduled to fight, he was able to come back and get a retirement fight, and I got to corner him, and he won. So it was in a Melvin Guillard fashion, a quick knockout. That story right there is like enough to like say this sport was worth it for me because shit like that, growing up watching him and then me getting to corner him for his last fight in my hometown, it's just storybook, man.
And about like lightweights from the current UFC roster, do you have maybe like one or maybe few names in mind that you think that you against this fighter would be like interesting fight? Of course, the fight may happen, may not, but in your mind, you know that it would be like super exciting bout.
There's a couple of them, man. Like obviously, if you want to break it down in tiers, like as I climb, like Drew Dober would be one of those first guys that I would love to fight. He brings it. I'm not gonna back down from any man. No lightweight's gonna make me take a step back. So that's a good fight. Further on down the road, I'm a fan of and would love to fight Mauricio Rufy. That's another great one. That's a puzzle that I would love to try to crack. Rafael Fiziev, been a big fan of Fiziev for years. Obviously the man's Elliot Poirier is only a year older than me. He'll be there when I'm at the top. So that's a beautiful matchup. Yeah, man, all these guys, Arman Sarukian's got a huge name to him now, and he's an exciting guy. So the lightweight division's in a good spot right now, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Like, I feel like it's the strongest division in the world, and I'm happy to be in it. Like, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This is what the division I want to be in.
Yes, the lightweight division is this kind of like division that you have can have like fight on prelims on fight night, and you know that it's like super skilled guys, and the fight would be just pure fire. So it's probably like
Yeah.
lightweight and bantamweight division. I would say that these
Yep.
divisions are the best.
That's true. Yes, sir.
And did you watch UFC 329 like Conor against Max?
I did watch it, man. I was so excited for that card, man. I mean, in my opinion, the card delivered. It was just the end of it is kind of unfortunate, but I think my takeaway from the fight, or obviously, there's not much to take away. Connor hurt himself, but I like where Connor's head's at in his life right now, man. Like I'm gonna support anybody that puts Christ at the forefront of everything they're doing. So I haven't always been the biggest McGregor fan, but just kind of seeing what God did through him is just like I want to root for that story, man. So I hope McGregor, heals up, comes back, and gets one more. I hope. And like I said, coming from someone who was never the biggest McGregor fan. Obviously, I'm a Poirier guy. I'm from Louisiana, so but now that, our guy's retired, I feel like I could kind of show respect to Connor as well, man. Like, you never want to see that happen to anybody. I wish we could have got the fight from it, but congratulations to Max. It's the easiest payday he's ever had.
But probably when the fight is such a quick one, and in the end it's not like quick knockout or quick submission, the fighter who won also feel that something is wrong, that he has this kind of energy and what to do with it.
Yeah, I think I mean, the main thing that was keeping Max happy was he got to realize how much money he got to go back home to, like without taking injury, without, you still went through the whole press of a Conor McGregor fight week as the opponent, like, so I'm sure it was still an amazing experience and he still got the money he wanted, so honestly, if Conor does come back, I can see that being his last fight, just running it back with Max again. They're 1-1. I think that was about to be a banger, so I would like to see that again.
And you mentioned that Dustin retired, and maybe this is like the good moment for a new like main face of Louisiana MMA. So maybe this will be like a chance for you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a perfect opportunity to get this off my back. I've had a lot of people say this, but I want to I want to give respect to Dustin, and I want to let everybody know that there's only one Dustin Poirier. Like Dustin's the man. Like Dustin's the reason why I'm doing this. He's the reason why a lot of the young fighters in Louisiana that are going to be great soon. He's the reason why we're all doing this. He proved something to the world, but not only did he prove something to the world, he proved something to the rest of Louisiana. He proved that we do have grit that isn't anywhere else. And so for that, man, Dustin is the man. Like I don't want to market myself or to come off as I'm trying to be another Dustin. That's not what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the first hunter, but at the same time, I want to give flowers to the guy who the reason I'm here, you know. He's the guy that I grew up watching. He's the guy that I grew up emulating my fight style off of. I mean, he showed all us Louisiana fighters that, you know, we got different grit, like I said, and if we sit there and we trust it and we embrace that grit, we can outdog anybody. So, respect to Dustin. I'm not trying to be the next Dustin Poirier. I'm trying to be the first Hunter Smith, but Dustin is the reason I'm in this game.
And Dustin, like about Dustin, not many people say like bad things about him. He got this kind of like, of course, like fighting style, but many things outside of fighting that are great. So in the end, he can be like the kind of inspiration for the younger fighters.
100%. And that he is, man. That he is. I know he just had this stuff going that's actually a worldwide meme right now, but that airport stuff, like his real fans and like the people that are from Louisiana know that's not a big deal. That's just, I mean, he's got what, 20 years of proving to be a great dad and a great man on his side. Like, what is one time, a Father's Day where he had a little too much to drink, gonna negate that, you know? So, like, I'm glad that everybody used it as like a positive thing and like turned it into this humorous, funny thing as far as more so than trying to cancel him, you know? Like, so I am glad that he didn't get, you know, too bad at the end of the stick from that one.
And getting back to your fight, what would be like a perfect scenario when you are thinking about this contest?
I'm gonna like you talking about like how I would be perfect scenario for me to go win this fight.
Yes,
It'd be to
yes.
knock him out in the first round, hit him with something he doesn't see coming, show him that I have more speed, and just kind of, you know, flow. I'm not going in there with any like I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. I'm going in there with let's fight, bro. Let's go, let's meet.
So, Hunter, many thanks for the time and for conversation. Of course, I hope that you will win this fight. And of course, when you win
Thank you,
this
brother.
fight let's say your fashion, it's obviously that you will get the contracts. So definitely, like finger crossed for
Let's
that.
go, man. Fingers crossed, man. You know, I don't even need to put my fingers crossed, man. I just put my trust in the Lord, and the rest will take care of itself.